All right, so I said I was going to talk about Assange, and then I talked about Turkey and Russia and Syria. Um, they're both incredible importance, and I stopped with that because of its importance and tried to explain the trajectory and why. And I don't see it. The tit for tat is not done because they're still attacking Idlib, and that's not going to stop until they free it and end the civil war. And Turkey's not going to give up. It's serious war between two major powers, and we're supposed to be backing one of them. And in fact, we already are, because we have people there too in Idlib. So anyways, I went off about that, but I need to go off about Julian Assange too. Now, this isn't related so much to what's going on right now. It's kind of the ongoing thing of it, because the narrative that still kind of goes around is that he was involved in Russiagate, which is false. That he raped somebody in Sweden, false. All those charges have been dropped 3 different times after being brought up 3 different times. Totally bullshit. Like, one of the reports said it was consensual sex without a condom. That was the charge. But they've dropped whatever it is 3 different times because there is no case. This is all to smear Julian Assange. I'm going to be sarcastic here. Why would they smear the person who outed what the CIA is up to and just totally laid them bare, embarrassed the CIA? They want blood, so they're not only torturing him to death, hopefully he somehow lives, torturing him in isolation for what, 8 years now? But now he's in prison isolated, which is even more specially isolated. You know, you have no... it's even more isolating than being in an embassy. Well, the rapporteur for the UN, the specialist on torture, said that it's one of the worst cases of torture he's ever seen. And he's the authority on the matter. And he demanded that they let him go because he looked deeper into it and found that this is all smear campaign. This is all trumped up charges against Julian Assange. Because once he started to look deeper into it, he found out that all of it is bullshit. Shocker. Because, come on, really, Julian Assange got into WikiLeaks to tell the truth. He's there to tell the truth. Or he was there to tell the truth. That's why he got into it. To expose the truth. Now, to believe that he suddenly became a Russian operative for the very purpose of exposing Hillary Clinton and the DNC, I'm going to go with Occam's razor and say vengeance from the DNC and CIA went right after him and smeared him. Like, they're putting it all on him, saying, oh, he had collusion with Russia. That way they put Russia on the shit list too. You know, it kills 2 birds with 1 stone, demonize him and show that there's a connection with Russia. And there you go, because Russia's the new boogeyman. Now that we're done with the Middle East, we've pretty much turned it upside down, so we need a new boogeyman. And that new boogeyman is Russia and China. So now everything you see is against Russia and China. And it works, because everybody, you hear them talk about Russia and China like they're, you know, some evil places. And it's the same old shit. It's the same old shit, the same playbook over and over. But now it's China and Russia. And it's transparent. It's transparent if you really, really pay attention to what's going on there. It's transparent. There's no merit. Julian Assange has been, he was in an embassy for 7 years, I believe, because he knew that they would come after him if he left. And he doesn't want to get extradited to the United States, where there's a death penalty for what they're trying to charge him for treason. And they're trying to say that he hacked the emails. Okay, so the CIA had they tapped the embassy in 2013. They tapped 24/7 audio and video of Julian Assange from 2013. The WikiLeaks hacks of the DNC, the DNC leaks happened in 2015, 2016, right? So how the hell is it that Julian Assange colluded with the Russian government when he was under full surveillance 24/7 of the CIA, and yet they have no evidence of anybody talking to him like that, or else it would be all over the news? There's no evidence. They have nothing. That's why they're not bringing him up on charges of espionage directly. They're like, well, he hacked. You don't hack anything if you're under surveillance in an embassy. They're trying to say that he told Chelsea Manning how to hack into the system to release the war crime video that she released, and now is still in prison for not turning Julian Assange in, not testifying against him. She's in prison because she won't testify against him. You think it's because she thinks he's some nice guy? No, of course not. She knows that it's the right thing to do because he had nothing to do with it. He didn't do anything wrong. And she knows that this is free press on trial. Even if it never reaches trial, if Julian Assange dies in prison, nobody is going to ever step up and whistleblow on the United States government. It's already that way because nobody wants to go through what Julian Assange has gone through. But if he gets convicted, it's kind of a free press is done. And the United States government will have full carte blanche and will never have accountability or oversight. Now, they already do things that are pretty hideous. But if there's no oversight and nobody's willing to keep them honest, nobody's willing to hold them accountable, then what do? If you think Abu Ghraib was bad, what if there's no accountability? Then what? Then what do they do to this? What do they do to you? And who's going to stand up for you? Who's going to stand up for me and you when they decide that we're the enemy? There's nobody to look over what they do to us. We can get sent off to a camp somewhere and never seen again, and nobody can do a damn thing about it. People don't understand what the gravity of this is with Julian Assange. It doesn't matter whether you think he's guilty or not. He's a journalist, and they're crucifying the man. And it's the end of journalism. Nobody will step up if the new precedent is to convict journalists who expose war crimes. If that is the new precedent put into law, then that can be just anytime they have a journalist tried, they can say, well, Julian Assange got convicted of this too, so this is how the law saw it then. There you go. So, sorry, bye, prison or death for standing up to the U.S. government for war crimes, which they have not even arrested the people who committed the crimes. But everybody who exposed them, they're in prison. Why aren't more people up in arms about this? Not only is Julian Assange an innocent man, but it doesn't matter. Even if he was Satan himself, we need to defend this journalist, or else there's no more free press. There's no more oversight. There's no more free press, which is no more free speech. And you cannot defend any of your other rights. There's no Second Amendment. There's no other rights because you can't defend them verbally. There's nothing. We lose all of our rights. They can do whatever they want to us, and they will. That's how it goes. That's what history says. We have to stop this. We have to stop this. Take care.